everybody, and welcome to this week's Rocksmith 2014 live stream featuring live developers here from Ubisoft San Francisco, the fine folks that make Rocksmith 2014. My name is Dan Emmerich. I'm the community developer, and I will be your host for the next hour or so while we play through some of the songs. Anthony Martinez is here. Hi, Anthony.
Hi, Dan.
David Stevens is here. Hi, David.
Hi, Dan.
They will be playing some of the music that you will be hearing today. It's a 5-pack. We're going to play 4 of those songs because that's about how many we can do in addition to like answering your questions later on in the show live. We've got some giveaways to do, and we've got some success stories to share and all kinds of nonsense like that. But thank you very much for being here. Let's kick it off with a look at the trailer for the My Chemical Romance 2 song pack. If you're an MCR fan, then you may or may not know that we had a 3-pack for Rocksmith 1, which is still available and does work with Rocksmith 2014. Well, that was a very, very long time ago, and now we have 5 more songs based on your user requests, and here they are. And there you have them. Those are the 5 songs that are in this week's My Chemical Romance pack. Song pack 2. A little bit of housekeeping. We had heard a couple of weird reports that Teenagers was not downloading correctly on Steam, but we checked it and it looks like it's working okay now. So not really sure what that issue was, but shouldn't have any problem. And if you were trying to get it on launch day on Xbox One, there was some hiccup on the Microsoft side. We let them know. They kicked it. I don't know. Maybe they just, I mean, it's like smacking the dash of the car to make the car radio work. It's fine now.
It's okay, I promise.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. So you have Anthony's personal. Oh, I see what you were doing. He's talking about the first song we're going to play. We're going to play "I'm Not Okay, I Promise" by My Chemical Romance. And since David is in charge of our QA here at the studio, I'm guessing you were the note tracker that actually put this one together.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing hard? Have you been hardly practicing?
There we go.
Yeah. Okay. So we, folks who watch a lot know that the note trackers have a lot to do, and we don't always have enough time to prepare for the stream. And so a couple of the songs this week, even though if you would listen to the internet cynics, these are easy pop songs, not actually true. There's quite difficult parts, especially for the lead paths in several of these songs. Right. And you have gotten jammed this week because you're working on something really hard. You're also working on some of the licensing stuff in the background. And then we're like, hey, we've got this really difficult song that you did 2 months ago that now you have to, and you're like, So you're going to be doing the lead path, but not on 100%, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I think Brian Pody set it to 32%.
32. Was that a specific reason?
It's an even drop-in.
Oh, okay. It's an even drop-in.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It is an even drop-in. Okay, so
so it'll be a nice way to showcase, the level design and dynamic difficulty, so people at home can see how the game adapts to my 32% playing level.
Well, this is fairly accurate because, and we've gotten some of this feedback. We generally just crank all the difficulty artificially, just go through and say, give it to me at 100%. And you can do that, but that's not really how the game is designed to teach you how to play guitar. We're expecting that you don't know everything coming in, so the game is going to be listening to you play, and after a few songs, it kind of figures out, all right, well, you seem to naturally be around like 50% on most songs, so we'll maybe drop you in at 50% here, 40% here, maybe like 65 on this because it seems a little bit easier based on the techniques that you've already gotten down. So this is actually a much more accurate way that you might approach a lead. If you've never heard a song before, or if you know the song but you've never really tried it, based on your existing Rocksmith profile that the game has on you, it might say, let's start you at 32%. So you should see if he plays well at 32%, which I think you're capable of doing. You should see the slowly ramp up in difficulty. Watch for phrases to add notes. Watch for positions to change. Watch for chords to maybe fill in. Things like that. And we'll see, knowing that it's 32 at the beginning, we'll see how much it says that you do at the end, which is fun. Now, you're going to be doing, David Stevens, you're going to be doing rhythm, but you're doing 100%. Is that because
it's easy?
It's easy? Okay, that's fine. That's good. So good, easy target for rhythm guitarists. So
it's cool that there's such a difference in the lead and rhythm because sometimes there's not.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there are 4 charts for this song.
Oh.
I created an alternate lead which has some other octave work and the harmonized bits during the solo so that you can play
wow.
all those parts, yeah. Actually, the solo has a ton of layers, so I just picked the 2 most prominent.
Can you show one of the camera things before we start playing? I just want to show, when we say extra arrangements, there is actually a part that says bonus arrangements on that screen, and that's where you're going to find these. So the lead has a standard lead, but in this case, it's got an alternate lead. There are a lot of songs that have alternate leads. We don't have a definitive list on our website, but I believe the Riff Repeater actually does have a list of which songs have alternate leads or alternate parts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a little... It's that extra that you get from the Rocksmith team trying to teach you all of the different ways, either that you can play it alone if it's arranged for 2 guitars. Sometimes that's considered an alternate lead. If the rhythm has some interesting parts and the lead isn't playing sustained guitar all the way through, sometimes you'll find that it's a hybrid chart, something like that. Or if there's harmony work where there's 2 lead guitarists, you might see an alternate lead for the second lead guitarist. It all depends on the source material.
And that's another reason why I created that alternate lead chart, because I thought it'd be fun for 2 guitarists to get together and just harmonize,
Sure. Well, if you 2 guitarists would get together and harmonize, we will play I'm Not Okay, I Promise by My Chemical Romance. One of the 5 songs in the My Chemical Romance Song Pack 2, available now.
Nice.
on all
It's like
major.
harmony.
Yes.
We're harmonizing right now.
After this song, we will do our first giveaway. So if you just showed up for free stuff, that's fine. You will have your day. Squirrely Ninja says, fun fact, parts of this music video were filmed in my high school. I did not know that.
Is that Chris?
Yeah, that's Chris Wu, who you've sometimes seen on our stream. So you can see from Anthony's chart that it's not throwing a lot of notes at them. It's keeping things pretty slow compared to the full speed that David's on at the top of the screen. It's giving you enough time to respond to each of these individual notes, but those are the roots, and these are the notes that Anthony says, well, okay, you'll still get the semblance for the song, and as it adds notes, none of these notes that you're playing now are going to go away. It's not a simplified arrangement in that regard. It's just a partial arrangement of what your fingers are being asked to do. So you're only going to add from here and build a good foundation to learn the rest of the song.
I like that chord.
Jorge Mayo says no bass. So you may have noticed that Rocksmith supports 3 different musical paths, but you can only play 2 at a time. You've got a lead guitar path, a rhythm guitar path, and a bass guitar path. You are correct in that they are both playing 6-string guitars right now. So maybe you were just saying no bass, meaning like that's right. We will play bass later in the stream. Remember, we're not just here to like put on a concert. We want to show you what the game does and what you can do with the game. So this is a good opportunity for us to show a lower version of the lead path, but a high version of the rhythm path, which is something I don't think we've ever done before on the stream, and we've been streaming for like 2 years.
Okay. Nice.
That was quick.
Trust me.
People did like that pick scrape. Well done on the pick slide.
Well, and you see that, and you might not right away understand what it is.
Right.
Unfortunately, we don't have
A specific, specific icon for pick scrape.
Our kind of ad hoc fix for.
Well,
hey,
you
this
hear
is
it
a pick
once, and
scrape.
then you know it's coming. You know.
99. Nice.
Look at
man.
you. Very nice. And
Nice.
17. So out of that, you got, what was it, 99% accuracy on the arrangement that you did. So the overall number here, the mastery number. Oh, Brian, could you throw us back into seeing our post-game screen? So, some people are very, concerned about the numbers of Rocksmith, and it's like a score, and they're like, if I don't get 100%, then I'm not done. Yeah, that's fine. So, in this case, David, who was on the top of the screen, got 99, but you can see now where Anthony's lead chart did go up in complexity. It went back and filled in some more orange all the way through the song based on how it saw him play. But of the overall, like, every note that you could possibly play in the song, that's going to go up to 100% on this big mastery at the end. So it's only at 17.6, not because he played 17.6% of the notes, but because he's only playing the game is only offering him 17% of what the full song is going to be. So I see some people say, like, oh, I'm disappointed, or they get discouraged because they go, but I feel like I hit all the other songs. There's a smaller rating directly after you play that will say, oh, you got 85% accuracy on the subset of notes that we gave you, and this is your overall mastery of the song so far. So if you're starting at 32% or wherever the game drops you in, you're not going to see that mastery go up to 100% on your first playthrough. It might take 5. It might take 10 or 20. You don't know. It depends on how fast you learn how to play guitar. And the game's, infinitely patient. It's not going to tell you, like, nope, sorry, we're done with that one. You're over. Thank you. Anything you wanted to add about anything else? Because I feel like I did all the tech speak this time.
No. That was fun.
Yeah. There's some stretches in the rhythm.
There are. I saw that. And a couple people in the chat room mentioned that. I'm not sure who it was. Sorry, I missed your name. But somebody said, oh, yeah, the stretches are killing me on that one.
Yeah.
But as you like to say, stretch your fingers before you play. All that stuff will become more comfortable as you get the muscle memory to do big stretches.
Yeah.
But also don't go in cold and expect to be able to do 5, 6, 7 fret spans.
Absolutely. And I leveled the chart so that those stretches don't even come into play until later on.
Okay,
so,
that's good to know.
Yeah.
I noticed a difference, too, in the guitar you play, depending on the neck style and stuff.
That's a good point.
Like, when the breakdown hit, I haven't practiced on this Les Paul. I was on a much thinner neck, so when I went to hit those big stretches, where my thumb was comfortable was different, and it threw me. It took me a minute to adjust, so... You could always buy another guitar.
That'd be great. Visit your local Gibson and Epiphone dealer. All right, thanks, guys. Let's do our first giveaway of the day. This is the Ernie Ball prize pack, of which I spoke previously. This is kind of great. Ernie Ball, we've asked, hey, can we give away some of your gear? And they said, yes, you can. And I said, can you give us something that like any guitarist or bassist could use? And they said, yes, I can. And that's what the folks at Ernie Ball sent us. A peg winder, some strings, both for your guitar and your bass. If you don't have both, maybe this is an excuse to get the one that you're missing. Or maybe it's just a fine gift for a friend. Maybe you can swap. A brand new strap. It's always good to have a spare one of those in your case. You never know. Maybe that's even an upgrade to the thing that you have now. And also, you've got a dozen of Ernie Ball's picks and 3 of our very highly collectible Rocksmith picks. I'm happy to say that these are a hot item. Everybody seems to really dig these, and they will do anything to get them, but you can only get them here. That's the deal. These are exclusive to here, and occasionally you might see them if we wind up going to a live event. We might give some away. But that's the only other place you're going to get them. And, of course, a little package of Wonder Wipes. That's a sampler of their cleaning kit. I'm a big nerd when it comes to keeping your guitar nice and shiny. I actually polished this one up yesterday and got some of the finger grease off the back of the neck. I don't know if anybody else noticed, but it was like a swamp every time I went to play this guitar. It was nasty as hell. Hey, how come I'm up here alone? We're missing a Sam, aren't we? Because Sam was going to be playing this next... No, no. Let's give Sam. I will vamp. That's fine. Actually, Pody, do you want to step in and tackle that question? So we will be doing a Q&A section a little bit later in the show. But last week there were some questions that Pody was hoping we would answer that I just totally missed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Pody, coming off of the Wheels of Steel. Hi, Brian.
Hello.
And you said you actually had some good answers for those questions, and I didn't even know what the questions were. So can you start with that?
I never said I had good answers.
Okay.
I only said that I had answers. In addition to the comment about twiddling knobs yesterday in the chat.
Was this in terms of retuning your guitar?
No, this was unrelated to a guitar.
Oh, dear. What are we talking about?
But yeah, there were a couple questions that I thought I could answer. The first one was related to pickups, so it was actually addressed to me. And it was about, would better pickups help Rocksmith hear the guitar better? And I think the short answer to that is probably not. Better in terms of pickups, first of all, is extremely subjective, What you like might not be what I like, might not be what Dan likes. Rocksmith really is just listening for pitch, so as long as your pickup isn't broken, it's probably doing the job. It doesn't care if your tone's good or terrible. The only thing swapping pickups out is going to do is kind of change your sound a little bit, but Rocksmith should still detect fine regardless. The one caveat in my mind might be if you're tuned down really low. Right. Because if you're in a really low tuning, say like a vintage PAF style pickup, the low end just gets really flubby. It's not crisp. It's not defined. So if you want to kind of tighten up that low end of the guitar, generally a pickup with a ceramic magnet is going to do that, and that's going to be a high output pickup. That's what most of the metal guys are using. That's sort of my answer about pickups.
Well, you build them, so you are qualified to answer that pickup question.
I do,
for sure.
I do. But yeah, in general, Rocksmith's just looking for pitch. So, the pickup's putting out voltage regardless. The other question was about the real tone cable and latency. They were asking specifically about the cable. I don't have the numbers for the cable. They probably exist somewhere, but
for how many milliseconds that cable is adding to the to the latency. Okay.
But I can tell you what I've been able to do with it and kind of put that in context. So I've been able to get the latency of the cable down to 9 milliseconds in a digital audio workstation, which is pretty good. And in comparison, the little ASIO unit that most of us have on our desks is 18 milliseconds. So the real tone cable is actually half of that. And then on my desk, I also have like a $400 Motu, and that's 6 milliseconds. So the real tone cable is pretty darn
pretty
close.
Good for the money.
Yeah, especially for a tenth the price.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I can tell you about the real tone cable.
Okay. If you have other questions for Brian Pody, I think you're going to be actually up here for our Q&A session later in the thing. So
along with someone new.
Oh, along with someone new?
At least new to the stream.
Oh, that's right. We will have a fresh face to introduce you to from the team today. But for now, let's bring in an old face. Where's old Sam face? Hi, old Sam. Why don't you swap out with Mr. Pody, and we're going to play his second song. Obviously, while I'm playing guitar today, I won't be able to check the chat, but Squirrely Ninja and Jarmac SF are both in the chat room. They can answer any of your questions. Chris and Jared both work here. Plus, of course, Jason Paradise is your host and toastmaster for all of our giveaways. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Dan. How's
Sam
it going?
Schwartz, congratulations. You were part of last week's Green Day Dookie tribute concert.
I was.
At the Fox Theater. You were a last-minute replacement to sing a gorgeous song. And you were there for the rehearsal, and then the person that was supposed to sing it said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it. Mm-hmm. And Brian McCune said, making the call. Sam, we gotta have this done. And I saw photos. I did not get to go to the show, but I heard nothing but amazing praise of the whole thing.
Thank you.
That you nailed it, and then Brian nailed the whole thing overall. And Green Day were there, and they were excited. They were happy. The mayor called it Green Day Day, which is one of my favorite redundancies of the week.
She dropped the mic after she...
Oh, yes, the mayor of Oakland physically dropped the mic and made it this terrible... Don't actually drop the mic. It's just an expression. Should never do it. But today you're here to play with me... Because I said I want to play this song, and I was going to play bass, and you said, can you play rhythm?
Yeah.
And I'd rather.
One of the cool things, and why this band, I think, really works well for our game is because a lot of bands we have, maybe we'll have like one guitar player and then a solo, so there's an overdub for like the rhythm chart underneath the guitar solo, so you don't have too much differentiation in the two guitar parts. But this... it's very different.
It is,
and almost I think every song, the rhythm and guitar part, there's no common material or very little, if any, for a lot of them. So I think that's a really cool thing about this.
This song is Dead off of the Black Parade. This was actually my first experience with My Chemical Romance because I think like a lot of people, I was like, what's this? I don't know. It's in Guitar Hero 2, and that's where I found it. And I was like, oh, that's catchy as hell. And then I found out that I have a sweet tooth for pop punk, so no problem with that. So I was particularly excited to try to learn this. And like Anthony, I'm not exactly all the way there on all of the little subtleties. Because as something where you hear a lot of power chords, there's little riffs and there's little licks and there's some interesting chord shapes too.
Yeah.
So I'm still getting those down. I'm gonna point to the fences and say 85 today. I'm gonna get about 85% on this.
Okay.
But we'll see. Let's try it. Dead by My Chemical Romance. And if there's anything you want to add about the lead later, feel free to do so. We can do it afterwards.
Yeah.
This is the one that I had said reminded me of Cheap Trick. I got a really good Rick Nielsen vibe off of this. And the guitarist has said he's very influenced by Brian May, but this one just felt totally Cheap Trick to me in a really good way. Also, just changed the strings. This is where I'll probably fall apart.
Me too.
Yep, fell apart. Pick slides are fun, even when I don't hit them. I do remember when I was learning guitar in my bedroom, just shredding picks, making little grooves in the sides of them because I was like, that is such a great sound! Through a little gorilla amp.
That's why I stopped learning.
Should have learned more chords, but instead I learned like 3 different angles to do pick slides. It's 15.
Nice.
What do you want? Yeah, almost. Like, who does third fret harmonies? It's really hard.
Yeah, they're really, really hard to nail.
And at speed, and sort of as a haha,
Like,
we're just
like
throwing it in.
Yeah, as a haha.
Hey, all right, 88%.
Nice.
I will take
Very
80.
good.
That is a huge victory for me this week. Trust me, man. I've been burning the candle at both ends. Anything you wanted to add technique-wise about that?
It's just a really cool and
It's
tasty
a
solo.
really
Like,
fun
it's just
solo.
It's like, ow.
It's
That's
very
really good.
musical.
Yeah, there's so many like good little isms. It's just so much fun.
Get your isms on.
Indeed.
All right, cool. Hey, we've been talking and talking and talking, so we're about at the halfway point. How about some free stuff? We're going to show you a little video, and hopefully it's interesting to you. We have yet another person from Canada who took the 60-day challenge, and we have their this is the debut of Aaron from Canada, because we have Aaron from America too. So I had to make sure the files didn't get overwritten. But the 60-day challenge is a way for you to track your own progress while you play. And if you just need a little extra motivation just to see a yardstick for how far you've come in such a short amount of time, 60-day challenge is designed to do that. While you watch that, feel free to listen to whatever Jason Paradise tells you to do. I mean anything. But primarily, he's going to be doing a giveaway for 5 DLC codes for the MCR2 pack on Steam. So this will work on PC or Mac, and he's going to show you what you need to do to enter that giveaway. He'll give away 5 codes, and each person will win all 5 songs. And then we'll be back with our 3rd song and that special guest that Brian Pody alluded to earlier. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Alexander from Vancouver, British Columbia. Music is my heart and soul. Since I was a little kid, of playing my parents' records, to trying to play drums in high school, to spending 15 years of my life being a DJ. When it comes to music, it's one of those things that keeps my heart beating every single day. I love music. Taking up 60 days of your life to play an hour a day is a lot for some people, but it's like learning a new language, and it probably is one of the coolest languages I've ever learned. So really for me it was one of those things where I wanted the opportunity to try it out. I tried to do it when I was a kid. It didn't work out. My hand started hurting. This is day 5 of my 60-day Rocksmith challenge on pretty much how to learn the guitar in 60 days. I'm getting like calluses on my fingers. My fingers are going numb. This was one of those opportunities I just couldn't say no to. Who knows? With this little game right here, I could become a guitar rock star. Really, I'm having a great time. I'm still in the learning stage, the lesson stage, really how to hold the guitar, play the guitar, a couple of riffs here and there, and we are right now on day 15. It's going good, it's going great. I got to master Bob Dylan's Knocking on Heaven's Door. I'd have to say that my favorite game feature in the whole game was probably the lessons. Once you've mastered those lessons, then you kind of move on to learning songs and playing the different games and having a lot of fun. We're 30 days in, and as you can see, I'm growing out my hair. I'm trying to look more like an underground rock star. Hopefully it's working. So the first time I picked up the guitar, I felt like a kid with cotton candy. It was a cool feeling because the minute that I put it on, I started playing. I was just like, and I had no idea what I was doing, but it was so cool because it's like, wow, I have my own guitar. Biggest and best advice I could give: protect your hands at all times. That's right, because after 30 days I've realized the calluses do build up. You need a little patience. It's so new, it's a little frustrating, it hurts, but everyone says the same thing. You just need a little patience. I think people should take the Rocksmith challenge for the plain fact that people should challenge themselves. If they have no idea how to play the guitar and they love music, all you gotta do is pick it up and have some fun. It takes 60 days, and you'd be impressed to see how quickly you become a great guitarist, or at least a good guitarist. Am I a good guitarist? I'm trying. I think I want a ukulele next. Thanks, Rocksmith.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the second half of thank you for striking a pose, Brian Pody. I'm Dan Amrick. I'm the community manager, or the community developer, rather, I should say, because Jason Paradise is actually the community manager. I'm the community developer. He doesn't want me stealing his job title. And you are watching our live weekly stream straight from the development studios here at Ubisoft San Francisco, where we make Rocksmith 2014, thanks to note trackers like Brian Pody. And sign in, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Wamsi Tedapaldi. Did I say it right?
You did.
Excellent.
Well done.
Wamsi is somebody who deserves all of your love. You have actually been with Rocksmith for a very long time, right? Were you on Rocksmith 1 or were you on Rocksmith 2014 during development?
So I actually did DLC for Rocksmith 1.
Wow, okay.
And then I was on the development team for Rocksmith 2014.
And then there was that whole restraining order against Brian McCune, right? And that kept you away?
Yeah, it's been a standing
sure
restraining order since I've known him.
So how long did you work on the original on the products back in the day? Were you on the team for like a year, 2 years, 3 years? How long did that one?
I think my first note track was Reptilia.
Oh wow. Strokes.
By the Strokes. And I don't remember the rest.
Okay, but you're back now because we needed more help. We have more DLC to do, and we have more stuff to do.
Absolutely.
And so we got you back on the crew. Are you in all the time, or are you in sometimes?
I'm here, 3 days a week.
That's
I'm
enough.
Sort of juggling.
On behalf of everybody else in the office, that's enough. Yeah.
It's a great group of guys to hang out with. So at the very least, I like to show my face and make some jokes.
Well, good, because that's why we're here. Never mind the music. But you're going to join Pody on. Who did the note track? I guess Pody did the note track because you've only recently returned to us, so this wouldn't be something.
I think actually Shane Gann did.
Did Shane Gann do the note track?
Shane is waving wildly.
But Shane Gann is on tour, right? We haven't seen him for a month. It would be a miracle if Shane Gann walked in on the stream later today. But so Pody, you stepped up to take care of Shane's. To do Shane's job for him, basically. Oh, hey, Shane, how's it going?
On Monday when we were divvying these up, you said, Pody, so you're on Famous Last Words, and I said, excuse me?
I thought you had note tracked it, actually, because usually what happens is one note tracker will do one song out of a pack. It's just the nature of the beast. This time, Shane wound up note tracking 2 songs.
He did. He did.
And I, in the sense of let's get lots of faces on the stream, I figured like, okay, well, can you handle it? And you're like, sure.
Why not?
So how is that? Because I see Wamsi's got a bass, and you've got the guitar. So you're going to do lead on
I
this?
do. Yeah, I'm going to tackle the lead path. I'd never played it before about 2 o'clock this afternoon. But
Excellent. So once again, preparation is the buzzword for this week's stream.
I played it 4 times. We'll make it happen.
Make it happen. Wamsi, any insights on the bass, or you just want to play it?
I also just looked at this for the first time today. So I think it's important to note for a lot of you guys that are watching that I'm actually a saxophone player. And I learned how to play bass and guitar from playing this game.
This is true. He's not kidding. As much as we goof around, like we have musicians of many stripes here, but not everybody comes in as a guitarist.
Yeah, so being a note tracker taught me how to play guitar, which is pretty cool.
It works.
It works. There's living proof.
Living proof.
I would say those are famous last words, though, right before you get to play. Hey, let's play.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's play Famous Last Words by My Chemical Romance, also from the Black Parade. This is one of the 5 songs that's available in this week's MCR Song Pack 2. You can still find the original My Chemical Romance song pack. It's listed under Rocksmith 1. But you guys play this, and if anything occurs to you while you play that you want to explain technique-wise or theory-wise at the end, we can do that.
This one's got big stretches, too.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I think one's from 5 to 10.
Does Ray Toro just have really large hands, or what?
And that chord's weird.
There's your 5 to 10 stretch.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Gabavat says, yes, saxophone. So you have brethren in chat room.
Saxophone.
Also, Washel Flexer says, I love you, Shane.
He's a man of fans.
M. Robbins 5 says, Famous Last Words was the song I wanted most and was so happy to see. Kind of happy that when we did reveal the track list, a lot of the songs were the tracks that fans were hoping would be in when we teased it on Monday. So
They're good.
well, they came out of user requests. Not only are they, good and appropriate for how Rocksmith works and what it can teach you and how it teaches you, but we also do try to cater to those requests.
There's a few pinch harmonics. in
Yes,
this
there
song,
are
too.
a few pinch harmonics. If you're not familiar with what a pinch harmonic is, we can illustrate afterwards with a close-up cam, I suppose, but it's basically a very fancy picking technique you do with your right hand. You hit it with both the pick and some of the flesh on your finger, and it makes a nice little squealing noise. Billy Gibbons is kind of a master of pinch harmonics.
Pretty much how I play all the time.
I do too. I wind up doing pinch harmonics sort of accidentally, because once I learned how to do them, I never wanted to do anything else.
They just sound so good. Do them all the time.
They do sound great. Do it all the time.
And I use tiny picks.
Oh yeah, so it's kind of impossible for you to not play it. The Shot Caller 313 says, finally a bass. Guys, I don't know if you watch every week, but we usually play both guitar and bass on every single song. So please don't take it as any sort of personal offense. If anything, we rarely do rhythm guitar tracks. Cute Piglet asks, is there no more raffle? We do have another giveaway coming up later on in the show, so do stick around. It's good stuff from our friends at Ernie Ball. Got another care package to give away, but you have this one care package and you have missed our free DLC giveaway. But we'll give away some more DLC tomorrow on Twitter. Just have to be quick. Brad888 said, I was practicing pinch harmonics and I got them to work twice. I got all excited and then I couldn't get them to work anymore. That is not uncommon. Keep at it and you will find your sweet spot and you will be able to do them consistently. Anthony, is there a lesson in the game for pinch harmonics? He's nodding yes while he nods to the beat. So you can always check the lessons, take a peek at the pinch harmonics lesson, and do that on demand whenever you feel like tackling it.
Good job, Brian.
Thank you.
Good job, Monty. He's not going to compliment you. You notice how, like, you're like, good job, Brian. He's like, yep.
I know I'm good.
That's what I'm here for.
Nice shot.
This base is
Great
a lot
pass. You know. What a save. Thank you both. Would you be up for answering any questions that people have about Rocksmith in general? Because you have a different perspective than most people.
Absolutely.
And, of course, Brian Pody has already answered the 2 questions from last week. So now's a good time. If you have questions for the note trackers or me or anything in general, I will say while we wait for some of those to show up in the chat, when are you going to put in insert band name here? We have a request system. So we can't predict when things are going to go through music clearance or anything like that. But if you are basically just finding different ways to say, I have a song that I would like to hear in the game, go to bit.ly/rsrequests and let us know exactly which songs by exactly which artists you would like to see. That information does really work. Like, we can't always get everything that we ask for, let alone that you ask for, but it does help us prioritize which songs we should be asking for. So that's why this pack has the 5 songs that it has in it, because you guys said these are the ones I want to see the most, and so those are the ones that we requested right off the bat. And thankfully, we were able to clear all 5 of the songs that you see in this pack.
On the topic of pickups, really quick,
Yeah,
I
sure.
am curious what Halsby uses, Halsby, if you're out there, because his note detection is so good, and I think it's mostly because he's just such a clean player and his technique is so good, but I'm curious
Right.
what he uses,
I don't know.
pickup-wise.
Cute Piglet says, random question and suggestion. You guys should make a program that connects you so that you can jam with you and a friend. Are you planning on doing that? So this is more a question of internet physics than functionality. Rocksmith does support 2-player split screen. As you can see, we're doing it right here. Each person just has to have their own USB cable, and you plug it in, and you go to multiplayer mode. And the game, in fact, will yell at you if you have 2 cables in at the same time. It's like, hey, man, you got 2 cables. I don't know who's who. Get over to multiplayer mode. As for online play, the problem is seriously latency. Like, in terms of music, so I've used a funky little special device when I've tried to do digital rehearsals with bands that I'm playing with. Like, I was in Los Angeles for a little while. They were in San Francisco. And that's about, 250 miles. And that was, like, we could just barely, and that was with specialized hardware opening up our internet connections just to try to play in sync. So, magnify that by all the stuff that you go through with Xbox Live or PlayStation Network. Magnify that with our note detection and all that stuff. It's just not, it's not a problem that we can solve. It's not like, you know what, never mind, we don't want people to jam together. It's just kind of not physically or technically possible to do it. If it is someday, absolutely we'll revisit it, but it's not.
Yeah, I've listened
It's
to
not
people
feasible.
do it on the computer and just been like, what is happening?
Right, yeah, it's
This is like some sort of, jazz free jam.
Right.
Because everybody's all over
right,
the place.
everybody's on their own key in their own time. That's just what we want to see. Let me see if I've got any other questions real quick. Lavco Price Tech says, talk to Brendan Small again. I promise he will be open to more DLC. I just talked to him about it. Yes, we love the fact that Brendan Small, the guitarist from Deathclaw, creator of Metalocalypse, he likes Rocksmith. He gets it. He thinks it's kind of cool, and we're happy to have some Deathclaw music in the game. We do have a 3-pack that we put out last year. We're totally open to more, but again, hit that request thing. We think that he would likely say yes, he'd be cool with that because he's been cool with everything else, including some silly ideas that we've had. So, again, like, we don't know until we ask, and we don't ask until you tell us what we should be asking for, within reason. There's some people who use this as a double-edged sword. They're like, well, I requested it, and you have to go get it now. I'm like, well, this is still a curated thing. Like, we still say which songs would be best for people to learn, what's going to teach you techniques that you can use going forward, in addition to some of the other hurdles, like, is it a song we can afford, or is it actually physically available? Sometimes we don't have access to the recordings. And sometimes the bands just don't want to be involved. They're like, I don't like that idea. I don't want my music being used that way. And we can't say, yes, you do. We can't force them to do that. So there are hurdles along the way, but we are also, looking for our own choices of like, what would be cool to have in the game, and here's why. And we'll have those kind of discussions all the time. So we sometimes weave those in. The one that I always think of is Cake, stick shifts and safety belts. We got a lot of requests for The Distance, for Never There, for Short Skirt, Long Jacket, and they had the opportunity to do a fifth song of our choosing. And at the time, we didn't have any country at all. And Brian heard that song and he went, you know what? There were a few requests for it. But primarily, I want to get it in here because it teaches you a different way to play the guitar, and it was in a different genre that we didn't have. So he snuck that in. He's like, you're going to get everything you want, but we're also going to give you this as our suggestion. And a lot of people have since come forward and said, wow, I never would have played that song if it weren't for Rocksmith. So that feels good, and hopefully you're open to those kind of suggestions.
Yeah, and there's merit to, like, this song will teach you something.
Right. That is ultimately what we're trying to do. Let me see. Anything on expansions becoming available, says Greg HP. Yes, no. Quite honestly, the expansions, some people have noticed that in our menus there's something, songs, packs, and expansions, as if there would be a DLC bolt-on, for an extra fee that would add more lessons or more Guitarcade or whatever. And honestly, that is not in our plans for 2014. The expansions is there as part of the menu because we needed it on Rocksmith 1. People may not realize this, but the original Rocksmith was guitar only, did not support bass. And a year later, they rolled out a bass expansion, so that made sense that you would have to have that in the code. So they're like, well, you never know what's going to happen with 2014. Let's do it again. And then no expansions were planned. So I think a lot of people see it as some sort of promise. It's really not. It's just it's an option.
Empty promises.
It's a safety. That's Rocksmith 2014 : empty promises. It's really just a safety net. Of course, if we didn't put it in, then we would need it. But it's like bringing an umbrella so that it doesn't rain. We put it there in case we needed it, and we wound up just not needing it on this project. So sorry. And again, we have gotten a lot of requests. I'd love to see more lessons. I'd like to see different Guitarcade games, stuff like that. We're aware of that. We have that down on oh my God, you should see the list of user suggestions. We regularly revisit it, and we talk about it and what could happen in the future. Again, nothing to announce right now. 2014 is working for millions of people, and we're going to keep supporting 2014 for the foreseeable future, despite its unfortunate name. But that doesn't mean we don't want to hear your ideas, but some of the ideas that people suggest we have considered saw if we could do it, and sometimes we can't under the current sort of umbrella. And expansions, well, technically possible. We don't have the content. We don't have a content plan to do it.
We're pretty busy.
We are pretty busy, and I'm sure people are like, well, you should be busy making lessons in Guitarcade games. So there you go. So if you have any other questions, save them. No, actually, tell them, ask us, but do it on Twitter. That's a good way to do it. Obviously, Jarmac SF and Squirrely Ninja may be able to answer some of your questions because they do work here in our chat room. But if you think of something later, if you're watching this on a replay and you have a question you'd like to ask, don't be shy. Reach out to us on Twitter at @RocksmithGame or at Ubisoft Studio SF. We'll do our best to try to answer them there. We check that pretty regularly, a few times a day. So you won't be left hanging too long. And as I mentioned the other day, I mentioned earlier in the show, that was the same day. We will be doing a giveaway of some more DLC codes on our Ubisoft Studio SF Twitter handle. We give away 5 every Friday, and we do them at sort of like spaced out throughout the day. So if you're not watching, it's not going to be like, oh, you missed it. There were 5 all dumped in 5 minutes. That's not the way we do it. We stretch it out over a couple of hours. So who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. And if you look around, you might be able to find some free codes, say, in our forums at rocksmith.com, and maybe a few on Reddit if you're looking quick. So there are other opportunities to win. And we have another opportunity to win free stuff here before the end of the show. We've still got an Ernie Ball pack. But we have to play the next song in order for that to happen, and that means you guys got to get out of here.
I've just been waiting to leave.
I'm sorry, Wamsi. Next time, I swear to God, I'll let you get a word in edgewise, because I saw you... like 5 times.
Yeah, you know.
And yeah.
Lots going on in here, you know.
Yeah. Welcome back to the team, and thanks for
Appreciate
being
it.
on the stream.
Thanks for having me.
If anybody wants to say hello to Wamsi, tell us on Twitter, and I will pass the information on. Brian Pody's going to go back to the Wheels of Steel, and we've got one more song by My Chemical Romance to offer you. And people have been asking, is it going to be, is it Helena or Helena? How do you say it? I don't actually know. Or Teenagers. Well, it's going to be the one that I can't say. It's Helena. Helena. You're going to go with Helena. Shane Gann, ladies and gentlemen, back from tour. Oh, my God, look. It's Shane Gann. Shane is back. Hi, Shane. Come on in. I don't know. You be wherever you want to be, man. So Shane Gann is also the guitarist for up-and-coming indie band Hail the Sun. And, well, you're not indie anymore, are you? Because now you're signed. You've got a deal. So you may be familiar with Shane's work from 8-Ball Coroner's Pocket, which is one of the bonus songs that you can unlock by continuing to play through Rocksmith 2014. The more objectives that you complete, the little green picks that say Rocksmith recommends, those are targets. And if you hit those targets, as you go through, you do enough things in the game, you start unlocking extra stuff in the game, including full-on bonus songs. There's at least 10 bonus songs. I'm not sure how many there are, actually. And one of them is by Shane's band, Hail the Sun, and it's called 8-Ball Coroner's Pocket, and it's freaking hard. A lot of people have mentioned it's freaking hard. Now, Shane just came back from tour. You've been on tour since...
I was on tour only for like a week and a half, and then we were in New York recording our new album.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, you lost your little foamy thing. So now...
What's that mean?
It's under my foot. It means that I can hear you
my
breathing
pop
like
filter.
crazy. There you go, Internet. That's Shane's breath. So welcome back, Shane
Sample
Gann.
that, create a track, and send it to me.
And Greg Barr is here as well.
Hello.
Hi, Note Tracker Greg Barr.
Hello.
Fine T-shirt. I like your shirt very much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
What's wrong with mine?
Yours is also good. It just doesn't. You're not a corporate shill the way that I like it when Greg is.
Yeah, I'm in the
come
middle.
on,
I'm
man.
a great
corporate show.
Yeah, Yeah, it's true. You are in a shill sandwich.
I'm the cream of the Oreo.
That's a Resident Evil reference for anybody out there. Shill sandwich. So welcome back. And
Thank you.
yes, you did wind up note tracking 2 of the My Chemical Romance songs.
I did that.
And then you left us. And I actually was afraid
That's
that
what I do.
I didn't realize you were going to be back this week. I thought that you were still out
Surprise.
doing stuff. But that's
Surprise
great. That
to you
means that you
guys.
get to come back. And when I said, well, which one do you want to play? And you said,
I picked Helena
Right.
because it's awesome.
it's awesome. So was this the one that had I think you and McCune were talking about this one and Famous Last Words were the 2 songs that had the most user requests,
I
actually.
believe so, yeah.
And I think this was the number 1 most requested
I believe
song.
that as well.
Well, there you go. Which is funny because
it was me typing it in.
The reason we're
1,000
not
times.
doing Teenagers is because I actually thought we were going to do Teenagers because that has more Spotify plays than any other song. And sometimes I use that as a barometer. But then they're like, no, we got better data about what our audience is actually asking for. So sorry, I was part of that call to say, we'll cut Teenagers this week. Anything you want to? Well, first of all, how was the road, man? How was
the road, man. The road keeps me alive. It was great. Yeah, we had really good turnouts for the tour. Thank you if anybody's watching that happened to come to the shows. And yeah, recording the album went smoothly and sounds amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
Are you thinking this summer for that or this
Yeah.
spring? I don't
Yeah,
know how quickly something like that's going to come
The
together.
broad window is June.
Okay, June-ish.
Yep, June-ish.
Yeah, I met a lot of June-ish people in college.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Greg,
I
you
don't
are
talk
both
to
holding
them.
guitars. So, again, the bassists have been vocal saying, we're not being represented this week, but this is one week where
I could play bass.
Well,
we could
no.
switch it right now.
No, that's fine because, again, as we've mentioned earlier in the show, there's really not a lot of overlap between the rhythm and the lead parts, and they are built to work together, so it's kind of fun to see them play together. So which of you is going to do lead and which of you is going to do rhythm?
I'm
lead.
taking the lead.
And so
course.
you're going to do the rhythm.
Yes.
The
All power
rhythm.
chords.
Let's
Very fun.
Good. Let's hear it. I self-define as a rhythm guitarist, so I always feel like,
the diminished chord that is not power.
but it has a lot of power.
It's got a
It
lot
does.
of power.
That's true. Every chord can have power.
All right, so look for the diminished chord in this, and we'll play Helena. Somebody give me the phonetic
Helena.
pronunciation. I'm going to go back and see. But in any case, this is Helena by My Chemical Romance, played by Greg and the returning Shane. I did actually put this last, partly because I found out it was the most requested song, and partly because I wanted your reappearance to be a bit of a surprise.
Surprise.
after the song, one more giveaway, Ernie Ball Fun Pack. It's fun. You might win it. So stick around. Thank you. Cyrus Defilis and Cheeto1229 both are some of the many people who have been trying to tell me Helena, and I have been ignoring the chat, so I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. DeFlummy says, it's a shame the Hail the Sun album isn't released yet. He's never heard that one.
I haven't. But I love it.
Dayton Zen says this pack is entirely in E standard. Yes, it is. All 5 songs are in E standard, so if you're one of the people that doesn't like to retune your guitar or finds retuning your guitar difficult, I know folks with locking nuts and floating bridges sometimes are hesitant, let's say, to retune. All of these are E standard.
Did you see the diminished chord? There it is. That's right there.
Coming back around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like there now.
C diminished, so the C with a circle around it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, circle, there it is. Like the lyrics are actually covering the circle that means diminished.
It does.
You guys are going to have the beefiest forearms after this song has been toast.
We already do.
I was going to say.
Greg and I are the beefy forearm crew. That's us. Here's a fun slide thing.
A lot of people saying they remember where they were when they heard this song. I think we're hitting the feels for a certain,
that's why I'm playing it.
Early 2000s nostalgia.
These are my people.
I'm like, oh, I was a senior in high school. It's taking me right back there. Early.
I was a youth. I was probably 15.
Y'all done good. That was a bit of strumming fury.
It was.
With a diminished. Can you quickly explain what a diminished chord is, or what makes it differently on a theory level?
You go.
Diminished chord is when you have a minor third on top of a minor third, which it gives you this. They call it the devil's interval.
Yeah, that's a tritone. So diminished is
that's what you're playing YYZ now.
Yeah.
If you want to do diminished stuff, just go up 3 frets each time. So you do 3rd fret, then you do 6th fret, and you do 9th fret.
Okay.
Those are your notes. Those are your notes. Right. You can keep going from there, but those first 3 are the chords.
So if you stack those, you end up with.
It's a dark sounding chord, but it's got a lot of tension in it,
shit.
and you wait for it to resolve, and then they wind up resolving it later on.
Yeah,
so.
it falls nicely to.
The one in this song actually only has the root and then the tritone.
The sharp 4, yeah.
It is a fun chord. It's a nice chord.
Yeah, it's
Should we
really
just keep
cool,
playing it?
and the fact that they stay on it,
Yeah.
the fact that they stay on it for the fourth, the rounds in the chord progression go, what's chord 1 is E, then this one with the leading tone, then chord 3 is the C sharp, and then for chord 4, which usually is kind of leading to a resolution, they just stay on the diminished, which is kind of cool. They just stay there.
Cool.
Which is rare.
Because you guys use terms sometimes, and I realize I'm like, oh, everybody doesn't know, and sometimes myself, I'm like, I don't know as much theory as I like, so it's always good to explain that stuff. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you like to give some stuff away now?
I
This
would.
is straight from
I'm gonna
Shane.
Give away my hamburger helper.
Excellent.
You're gonna give that away?
Yeah.
You
well, I
wouldn't
ate most
dare.
of it. It's just
Dude.
leftovers. They're in the fridge.
Oh, all right.
I have
That's
dibs
it. That's
on
all I
those.
have.
No, now people are going to expect me to dump Hamburger Helper in a box with Ernie Ball strings. I'm not doing that, the Ernie Ball strings. I'm sorry. But here's what you will
I
actually
tried.
win. In addition to Shane's love, we will put some of Shane's good vibes
Give him a
into
pick
the
this
box.
time.
Maybe I should give him a pick this time. I was supposed to give away your pick before, and I didn't. But if you want a pick, we've got a actual one singular Hail the Sun pick. In addition to 3 Rocksmith picks, which you can only get here. A dozen of Ernie Ball picks, which you can get just about anywhere, but that's because they're like the standard, man. Plus a peg winder to make your string changes easier, a brand new set of Ernie Ball regular slinky strings for your guitar, and then, of course, for your bass as well, a brand new set of regular slinky bass strings. Plus a little sampler pack of Wonder Wipes so that you can see, you can keep your guitar nice and shiny. If you're worried about those strings getting like all gunky and stuff, there is a string cleaner wipe in there so that you can get some of the oil off of there, and maybe you get to use those free strings a little bit longer than you would have just by letting them sit there and corrode. And then, of course, last but not least, a brand new strap in attractive black goes with everything. Everybody should have a spare guitar strap lying around because you never know when that other one that you've got is just going to fall apart. And Ernie won't do that to you because nice little leather ends and nylon webbing and everything. It's good. We use some of them here in the studio. And if you want to win all that, all you have to do is whatever Jason Paradise tells you to do right now in the chat room. Remember that we will need your name, your address, and your phone number. But we won't call you. That's just so the mailroom can give it to FedEx or UPS or whoever it is that they use. That way, if they have trouble finding you or locating you, if there's a typo or something, they can call you and say, can you verify this address? And that has happened before. We don't keep it for any nefarious marketing databases or anything like that. But Jason will tell you what you need to do to win. And yes, we will ship internationally. I regularly ship stuff outside of the United States, even though that's where we are in beautiful, sunny San Francisco. Hopefully if you win it, you'll use it. And we always love to see pictures or a note on Twitter when they arrive there safely. I actually keep a little archive of those so that I can go back to Ernie Ball and say, see, people really like it. And, thanks for continuing to send us free stuff. So we send the free stuff on to you. Anything else? Because I got a slew of plugs to throw in here.
Plug it.
Fine.
Plug it in.
Tomorrow in our chat, in our forums, we will actually be... I didn't say you could leave. Okay, that's fine. You leave.
Can we leave now?
You can leave. It's fine. Thanks for being here, Shane. Bye, guys. Tomorrow in our forums at rocksmith.com, we will be doing a little puzzle for next week's DLC. I am happy to say that the puzzle is pretty much done, co-designed with my wife. She's the one that helped co-design the My Chemical Romance puzzle last week. Sometimes I just get fatigued, and it's good to kick ideas around with somebody else. And my wife, Kat, had the coolest idea for last week's puzzle. And so last night we worked out something else. So I say that not only to give credit where it's due, but also to share the blame. Because when you start tearing your hair out about this one, know that I was like, well, can't we give them this hint? And she goes, no. Shouldn't we sort of hint, put them in the right direction? No, they've got everything they need, and they're better than you think. So what she's saying is that I think you're stupid. I don't think you're stupid. But in any case, why don't you tune in tomorrow, because there may be some drama. I don't know. That'll be in the forums at rocksmith.com. At some point tomorrow, I will post a puzzle that you and your fellow forumites can solve, and it will give you great insight into what is going to be next week's DLC. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, as I mentioned, we have some more codes to give away. If you didn't win them today, sorry, don't worry. We've got some more Steam codes tomorrow on our Twitter account at Ubisoft Studio SF. You can also reach out to us at Rocksmith Game. And I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Dan Amrick. I'm the community developer. All this is my fault, but I share the credit with people like Brian Pody over on the Wheels of Steel, Anthony Martinez, Greg Barr, Wamsi Tedapaldi showing up for the first time on the stream ever. And Shane Gann, welcome back, and thanks to our friends Jarmac SF, Jared McAdams, and Chris Wu, Squirrely Ninja in the chat room for helping out Jason Paradise. Keep it all together. We leave you with another look at the My Chemical Romance Song Pack 2, available now on all 6 platforms upon which Rocksmith 2014 appears. Have a good weekend. Stay tuned, as I always like to say, because it's a dumb pun, and hopefully we'll see you here next week. Thanks, everybody.